Hello, it's Krista here with you again today. And today I am traveling a little bit. I'm down in near Bloomington, Indiana, Gulfport. And it's kind of a lot up like where I live, and but it kind of makes me feel at home as well. I know it's been a long process and still looking into getting my dentures. I still have a few more here on this side that I can still eat things, but as soon as these come out over here, hopefully around Christmas time I'll have my dentures, so I'm looking forward to that. Today I wanted to do kind of a little discussion about narcissism some more, and I was thinking maybe I would add a little bit about marijuana use. It seems to be one of the hot topics of today, and also one that I am informed on as well, and not just like by books or anything, but by experience as well, as in my past I've often used more like recreationally, socially, and sometimes even these days as my health problems worsen, like my arthritis and things, when I'm in pain, can understand and why people do like to use, and it's not just to get a buzz. It is more than that, more than just, ways of coping if there's a fight at home, or something like that. Like going beyond that to the real reasons why marijuana is becoming so prominently popular today. And that has to do with holistic medicine again. And it is just being revered right now. And in a way, I'm kind of glad to see it. Not so much as I'm looking at it as in an addict's perspective, but as I've really sobered up over these last few years, have never really used on my own accord by myself, but I would use with other people, and a lot of times I would pick up boyfriends that were chronic potheads. I mean, they used every day. So, and I'm not just talking like maybe once or twice a day. I'm talking like all day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and then one at night, or even more than that. Those I'm really looking at right now as the so-called potheads, the chronic users and abusers of it, that a lot of times I think what happens then is the chemicals to keep us at that higher, that buzz-like state, it's just like any other drug being used. Like, you can use anything into excess until it's really kind of hurting you and harming you in the end, where it's taking its toll on your lungs. It's taking its toll on things that you need to be getting done that you are not even accomplishing, and taking the time to do, like even taking out the trash, cleaning your place, becoming so high off of anything, maybe even like game playing for hours and hours, or spendthrifting with money or whatever, until all of a sudden you can't pay your bills. It's all the same. Even with weed, you get higher and higher and higher, and it's harder to get that buzz every time, because it is still messing with those chemicals in your head, messing with those endorphins. And those endorphins are naturally going to decrease after they are being pumped for so long. They're going to weaken and start decreasing, and that's why it takes so much more and more and more to get high the next time. Another thing that I'm really glad to see these days is, especially for the people that want to quit, using marijuana as much. Number one, not only because it's extremely expensive, and the prices have really at least doubled since I was a teenager, and has become even better because there are all different kinds now with different names, as all of you know that have smoked marijuana. So it's really like, I'm really glad to see today that for all of those that want to kind of pick that up, but not have to deal with the side effects like becoming addicted, which still there is kind of a controversy over that. Like, you know, like some people say, there's research says that you cannot be addicted. And then some other researchers say you can be addicted. There's even a fight in the big places about that, you know, whether or not a person should be using. I think you really need to look at, is this person abusing the drug like anything else that can be abused? Or even look at yourself that way. Look at how much you're using from day to day, how much you're spending on it. To kind of get more control over it, I'm going to bring up CBD oil. I know that this was the next wave to hit after all the pot products started becoming legal in a lot of different states. And now the CBD oil is prominent just like everywhere. Almost every other gas station is selling it now. And they're selling the gummy bears and the different kinds, you know, even, you know, liquid form, shot forms I've seen lately, like energy shots, but they're like CBD oil shots. You have to be careful of this stuff too, because like if you're driving or anything, or if you're operating machines or, you know, working or whatever, and you have to stay awake and alert, in order to run a cash register, or just, you know, anything that you're doing, that you need to stay awake and aware and alert, as a person should. When you take too much of this stuff, it's going to make you tired too. I shot a video quite a while back about it. So you really do need to be careful about your dosing on that. And it really doesn't take a whole lot to really kind of help be used for calming, relaxing, some pain. You know, it's not going to get your bigger pain. It's not going to be like a Vicodin or anything, but it is going to soothe. It does soothe over some pain, which is really nice when oftentimes we are left to deal with pain ourselves. You know, and especially right now because of the big opiate crisis. Well, they do not want to get us addicted to opiates because they're so addictive. But again, you know, I think I understand the crisis, but I also do understand that there's a lot of sick people out there. In a Reiki lesson I was taking in my classes a couple weeks ago, I read that 50% of the population is ill. And that's really an astounding one for me to see that. Because, I mean, I had no idea. I knew a lot of people were sick, you know. I've got so many friends with cancer these days at 40 years old. And just a lot of, you know, people in my family and stuff that are coming down with stomach disorders. I fell with thyroid disease and just couldn't believe it. At 20 years old, fell with irritable bowel syndrome. And it's just really, really sad. And I know when you get sick of dealing with the agony of it all, even when you do start changing your diet and things, a lot of times we're still left in major discomfort and pain. And often don't want to get out and do things, do much of anything like you used to do when you felt good and healthy, and oftentimes kind of get ignored and neglected by the other healthy people around when all of a sudden they're leaving you out of it, And here you are stuck at home watching TV all the time, and it takes all your effort to get up and just do chores sometimes, you know, or keep working a job because disability is not allowed for this or that. And so you're struggling the hell out of trying to work and dealing with whatever your health problems are. It's huge, and that's why a lot of people these days are having to take matters into their own hands and go natural. I think it's natural for us to do that, you know, because we're only going to be getting so much help from outside sources, and that's where we really have to start relying on ourselves and trusting ourselves and what inwardly in our gut is saying to us and saying, hey, look, you know, maybe you need to take a more natural approach to that pain that you have, and start maybe reversing whatever that condition might be with a more proper diet and adding herbs if needed, not just the marijuana kind, but you know, there's like so many herbs. There's books of herbs you can get for this health issue or that issue, and that's really me these days, as I get older, you know, to really open up to a different way. And it's amazing because not only that, but when you do become more of a victim, or if you've always been a victim, be it like with other people kind of leaving you out, maybe telling you what to do or to control you, maybe relationships where you've been hurt, mistreated, or, you know, cast out of, you know, families or whatever, for having different ideas and for having to do more alternative approaches, or maybe wake up to the side of us that really is real, where truth becomes more important to us, you know, because maybe life has dealt us a hand that there is no other choice but to start taking care of ourselves and to start wanting to desire what we truly want and need, that is truly what's best for us. Some people might not be ready for that yet, you know, and I know that when you do start becoming awake, the awakening phase, even if you're an addict or just a regular person out there trying to get control of their lives and find true happiness and fulfillment and satisfaction in their everyday lives, you know, attaining more of what they want instead of maybe what they think they can only have, like a few things of this or that, you know. We can have it all, we really can. But awakening is really the first step, the awareness stage, into finding that calm, peaceful place outside ourselves, maybe in nature, starting to do that breath work or whatever that calms us inside of ourselves, or trying those new that new alternative medicine that brings a peace within you and that relief that you've always truly wanted to find and have been searching for, and it's finally come to you and it's sitting on your door. And the next stage would be okay, so like I was saying, it is really essential for our own recovery process, either whether it be drugs, you know, healing, beginning to heal that health issue you have, or maybe be it that getting out of that harmful, toxic relationship with that friend or partner or whatever it may be, is all the same steps, you know, even for the codependence. It's just so essential in all of these steps to take, and those are, you know, the first two that really, you know, that you can even notice for yourself and I really just want to, I'm going to just kind of make this kind of a shorter video today. But, you know, our own health and wellness, it's worth it for the mind, body, and the spirit. You know, to get that control back that we've been missing, where our lives have just become out of control, and people around us might seem not very helpful or whatever. To break out and do our own thing, so to speak. You know, when we might feel blame, guilted, or shamed for choosing these new choices, just remember that if it is benefiting you, don't worry about all that other crap, because stepping out and being a true individual unto ourselves is the only way to love ourselves and to help ourselves, you know. So, and about the weed, you know, I mean, just, you know, maybe not get too carried away. We can get into a balance, maybe partaking less in things, and just finding more of a peaceful balance where maybe a little bit might be just enough, and not to overdo it. You know, try doing that yoga, maybe try taking those herbs that will help you find that balance within yourself, and your body will just crave for more of that wonderful feeling of relief that you are giving it as you do. So, thank you for listening today. I hope you have a very peaceful one, and God bless.